past that time by Sparrow, and the circus was on.
What's up, YouTube? It's Tyler Net, YouTube Ty's Life. I'm about to be reacting to Larry Bird broke his silence after an NBA podcaster disrespected him. I'm assuming it's Pat Beverly because he's in the thumbnail. Yeah, let's get into it.
Tell Pat to drop 40 with a left hand and then we'll talk.
So yeah, Larry Bird just responded to Pat Beverly after he insulted Bird's legacy and made one of the most disrespectful takes in NBA history. Today, I'll be breaking down everything, from Beverly's comments to the clapback from the fans and other players like Eddie Johnson and Jalen Rose. And if you think this is just another Pat Bev controversy, wait till you see how Bird destroyed his whole career with just one statement. It all started around late August on the Pat Bev podcast, and Pat Beverly was doing what he does best, talking. They got into one of those weird NBA comparisons, Kevin Durant or Larry Bird. And this happened.
And if Kevin Durant was playing when Larry Bird was playing, he would average 50.
Nobody was averaging 50.
Kevin Durant would have been.
Kevin Durant's one of my favorite players of all time, but I know.
Within minutes, the internet and the fans went crazy. And within hours, the clip was everywhere. Every comment section turned into a war zone. One side dropping KD's advanced stats and three-point percentages, the other side pulling out Bird's MVPs and those 80s highlights where he's lighting teams up. By the end of that weekend, it wasn't just a hot take anymore. It was a full-on culture war. Old school versus new school, grit versus skill.
I don't think Pat Beverly understands how hard it is to drop 50. I mean, you're Kevin Durant. Okay, you're shooting over players. You're 7'1", or 7 foot. I said 7'1". But you're 7 foot. You're shooting over players. Okay, he would score a lot of points. He would average a lot of points. What, 50? Averaging 50 points? Like, what? You know you have to do that consistently. Like, you have to average 50 or more. Or, like, if you score 31 game, you have to score, like, let's say 60 the next, right? Or, like, yeah, something like that. You have to score 40 the next. If you drop 31 game, well, like, for you to average 50 over 2 games, you'd have to drop 70. But it's like, yeah, it's over a course of a lot of games. So it's like if you drop 30, you'd have to probably drop 50 the next game, maybe 60, and then drop 60 points a couple more times, 60 points a couple more times, and then drop 50 and 50 and 50, and then don't really drop off. Like, you really have to average it out. 50 points, that means you have to be getting, because if you have one off night, that means you have to have a really good night the next night or a couple of nights later on. But, like, it's 82 games, 50 points. Averaging 50 points is a lot of points. And you're averaging it. Like, it's crazy. Over 82? You know how hard that is? Like, that's kind of bold. I don't know if Kevin Durant would have been able to average 50. I don't know. He's a very good scorer. I will give him 35. He could average 35. He's a very good player. He could have averaged 35. I can see that happening. But 50? That's very hard to keep up with that. Like, you literally have to be dropping, like, have games like you have 71 game, 61 game. You might have a game where you have 30, and then you have to have 70, and then you have to have 50, and then you have to have 60, and then you have a 20-point game, and you have to have another 70-point game. Like, it's crazy. Like, you have to be putting up crazy numbers. They have to put up crazy numbers, way more than 50 sometimes, even if you have, like, a regular game. You know what I'm saying? Because Kevin Durant's gonna have a regular game. He's not gonna be dropping 50 points every single game. That makes no sense. It makes no sense. He's human. Like, I know Wilt did it, but Wilt was just it didn't make any sense. And it wasn't really, like, fair when it came to, like, the players he had to go against. He had Bill Russell, and Bill Russell toned him down a little bit and held him to a point where it's like, okay, yeah, he would beat him most of the time. He would still get his points, but it wouldn't be no 50, 60 points. I don't think he gave Bill Russell. Let me know. Did he give Bill Russell 60 points? Let me know. But yeah, 50 points. Averaging 50 points is a lot of points. Like, and to average that is crazy. Yeah. Because that's a stretch.
Trash talk versus Twitter talk. And sitting in the middle of all that chaos was Pat Beverly.
I dare you to let me build you a completely free e-commerce store.
A role player with a microphone who somehow managed to get the basketball world arguing about one of the greatest ever. But before we go any deeper into the Bird versus KD war, you gotta understand why it felt so ridiculous coming from someone like Pat Beverly. Pat Beverly isn't an NBA legend. He's an ex-player who's known way more for his mouth than for his scoring. I mean, he was a guard out of Chicago, a second-round pick in 2009, who had to take the long way into the NBA. He played in Ukraine, then Greece, then Russia, before finally breaking through with the Houston Rockets in 2013. From day one, his identity was clear. He was always annoying elite players. That's literally how he made his name. The dude hounded Russell Westbrook so much that Pat Bev defense became a personality trait. Over the years, he played for Houston, the Clippers, the Timberwolves, the Lakers, Bulls, and the Sixers, and at every stop, you knew what you were getting. A role player that'd annoy the heck out of other players. But here's the thing. That same edge that made him a defensive pest on the court somehow turned into what he is currently. In 2022, he joined Barstool Sports and launched the Pat Bev podcast with Roan. And from that point, it was clear, Pat Bev had found his new lane. Unlike most players who tone it down on the mic, Bev doubled down on his annoying personality. And that's why his mic matters way more than his box scores ever did. And this isn't new behavior for him. If you followed Pat Bev long enough, you know controversy follows him like a shadow. Remember the time he made a list ranking the whitest black players in the league? Yeah, this one.
You got Jared Allen.
Why? Just because he likes anime?
I mean, okay.
Just because he has sweet sideburns?
Yo.
You asked. You didn't make.
No, I didn't ask.
Or when he called Chris Paul a cone. Yeah, that's classic Bev.
He can't guard. He literally can't guard.
Chris Paul can't guard anybody?
No, he can't. Everyone knows that. What we call him? Cone. You know what you do with cones? You make a move. What does the cone do?
Stay still.
Exactly. He's a cone.
Just loud and wrong every time. In the era of player podcasts, where ex-players are turning mics into media empires, Pat Bev plays a specific role, the disruptor. While guys like JJ Redick and Draymond Green try to educate fans, Beverly's built a niche on chaos. Hot takes that will definitely piss you off. So when he said KD clears Bird, people didn't just hear a bad basketball opinion. They heard a professional instigator doing what he's best at, stirring up a debate that guarantees clicks, comments, and reaction videos. But this time, he made a big mistake by bringing Larry Bird into his nonsense. Because Larry Bird wasn't just another NBA legend. He was the beast other legends were scared of. See, when people talk about Larry Bird, they don't just bring up stats. They talk about moments. The kind of moments that make you stop and think, nah, that can't be real. Like the 1984 finals where he straight up dragged the Celtics to a title. The Celtics had just been embarrassed in Game 3, and Bird called his teammates soft on live TV. Most guys would lose the locker room after that. Instead, he came back averaging 28 and 14, outworked everyone on the floor, and won Finals MVP. Then there's the 1991 playoffs against Indiana, where Bird took a hard fall, cracked his cheekbone, got concussed, and disappeared into the tunnel. Everyone thought he was done. Then, out of nowhere, the man walks back out like it was a WWE entrance. The Garden went insane, and guess what? He led the Celtics to win that game. And none of this hype makes total sense until you remember where he came from. French Lick, Indiana. I mean, these guys had a population of barely 2,000. He had no fancy AAU circuit and no hype machine behind him. This was just a kid who worked until he was better than everyone else. At Indiana State, he turned a small school into a national story, taking them all the way to the 1979 title game. And that's where the whole Bird versus Magic rivalry began. Magic won that night, but Bird got something more permanent: respect. When Larry Bird got drafted by Boston.
So, what did Pat Bev say? Are we getting to that?
The Celtics were a mess, 29 wins, no direction, and no identity. Then Bird arrived, and everything flipped overnight. They jumped to 61 wins in his rookie season, and anyone who actually understands the NBA knows that kind of turnaround doesn't happen by luck. From there, the 80s became Bird's playground. 3 championships in 1981, 1984, and 1986, 3 straight MVPs, something only a few players.
All right, let me see if like I could skip ahead and see what Pat Bev actually said. Unless I'm missing something. Cause like, bro, what did he say? No, they're not gonna. There's no thing on this. Nah, no. All right, back to the video.
In history have ever done, and 12 all-star appearances. But what really defined him wasn't the hardware, it was the way he played the game. Bird played basketball like a chess grandmaster. He didn't rely on raw athleticism. He relied on reading the floor, predicting movement, and punishing mistakes before they even happened. He passed like a point guard, shot like a machine, and carried himself like he knew the script before the rest of the league got the memo.
Yo, that is definitely how he moved. That's definitely how he moved. He reacted like he knew the script before everybody else. So he knew what the heck was going to happen before it happened. So because he was reading the defense, he's predicting things, and he most of the time he was right. Even the steals he got, like he was a great defender, and he was very good at anticipating steals. He was a great facilitator. He could see when someone's going to be in a certain place at a certain time, on like certain spots on the floor. So he would throw it even before the guy even gets there, and the person will rotate and get to the ball and catch the ball in the right position and finish. That's Larry Bird. He's playing chess, not checkers. So, yeah. And it kind of looks like he's the puppet master out there. He's just like manipulating the whole game through his mind based off of like trash talk and being able to read his defenders and then read the other team while he's playing defense. Like stuff like that. He's really thinking the game and he's really 2 steps ahead every time.
He'd literally tell them where to stand, hit them in stride with a perfect pass, and if they missed, he'd roast them right there on the court. By the time he retired in 1992, he'd done everything there was to do. Championships, MVPs, and a legacy that still shapes the league today. Oh, and remember that statement Bird made about his left hand?
Didn't Bird shoot left-handed for an entire game against Portland?
47 points. You're especially using your left hand.
Oh.
That wasn't some made-up flex. It actually happened. And it's one of the craziest stories in NBA history.
And he's at 87% and 6th in the league right now.
Back in 1986, Larry Bird faced the Portland Trail Blazers and decided he was going to play the game entirely with his left hand. And this was not because he was injured, but in his words, he was saving his right hand for the Lakers. That night, Bird dropped 47 points, 14 rebounds, and 11 assists. A triple-double, while using his offhand for most of the game. To understand how wild that is, imagine an NBA player today trying that in a real game. Not in practice, not in a preseason match. A live game. It would break the internet. But Bird did it like it was just another night at work, and then followed it up by beating the Lakers a few days later. That's what makes Pat's take sting more. When you say something like Kevin Durant clears Larry Bird, it's like ignoring the fact that Bird was out here dropping 47 with his weak hand. Now compare that to Durant.
Imagine being able to build anything just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44, a complete...
Oh, so that's what he said? Because all I really took from that, maybe I didn't hear it right. All I took from that was that compared to Larry Bird and then compared to Durant, if you compare their games... Okay, you're saying Kevin Durant would drop 50, would average 50 a game. And Larry Bird obviously wasn't averaging 50 a game. The only one that was doing that was Wilt back in the 60s. So it's like, yeah, I guess he's basically saying, yeah, he clears Bird. He's better than Bird, and he's way better than everybody back then. Yeah, I get what why everybody was getting upset, because the comparison. Like Bird's averaging probably, he probably averaged 30 once in his career. I think it was like 29.9. In his whole entire career, he averaged 24, and that's very good. To do that, like once you average 24 throughout your whole career, you're a Hall of Famer. You're one of the legends. You might even be top 10, top 20. You know what I'm saying? Usually it's top 10. Because that's a lot of points. Like it's a lot of points. And consistently scoring a lot of points. So 50 points, that's double that. 50 points a game back then, you're tripping. So I get why people were getting upset. I just didn't really understand where they were seeing the disrespect, but it's like, okay, I understand now, because it's like, yeah, 50 and then Larry Bird averaging 30 once. Like, it's not, no, there's no way. There's no way. You can't say that Kevin Durant is that much better than Larry Bird. I don't even think Kevin Durant is better than Larry Bird, to be honest. Maybe he's more talented, but what he accomplished, what he was able to do on the court, I don't think he hasn't accomplished what Larry Bird has accomplished on the court. I think Larry Bird is more effective because even though Kevin Durant, from the eye test and based off of what he's capable of doing, what he has done, it hasn't resulted in 3 championships. It hasn't resulted in 3 MVPs. It hasn't resulted in bringing your organization up and bringing the first organization that you came into the league with, bringing them a championship, and then bringing another championship, and then another one. So he had to go to other teams. He had to go to Golden State to win a championship. Golden State is probably the greatest team assembled. Golden State. It's either Golden State, Chicago Bulls, or Boston. But as far as winning, Golden State beat Chicago Bulls record. And then Kevin Durant went to the same team the next year after losing to them in the playoffs. So it's like, those are 2 different situations, because Larry Bird stayed on his team, uplifted his team, revived the whole organization because they weren't good before him, revived the players that were on the team because they weren't as good as they were going to be because of Larry Bird. You get what I'm saying? It's 2 different players. Kevin Durant's an individual. Larry Bird is an individual that will uplift other people. Kevin Durant's going to help himself as far as scoring and his legacy, and Larry Bird's going to help everyone around him. Like, whoever's around him is infectious. Like, they're going to do well. If they don't, they're probably off the team soon. The next year, probably. But if they're there and they're there to stay, Larry Bird's uplifting the team for sure. So it's like 2 different players. Like, it's not even a thing. Kevin Durant's probably more talented as far as like 7 foot. He can shoot over players. He could play like a guard. He could dribble like a guard. All of that. But he's not a better basketball player in any regard. And it's not even close. If you guys understand what I'm saying. Like, me saying he's more talented doesn't mean he's better than Larry Bird at all. I feel like Larry Bird is a lot better than Kevin Durant because his execution is not even like is in another stratosphere because of the things he's accomplished. Kevin Durant, I feel like he's accomplished a lot individually, and he's a Hall of Famer. You can even put him in your top 10 if you want to. I don't agree with that, but you could probably do that based off of his accomplishments as an individual. But he didn't do what Larry Bird did with his team. He has never impacted a team like how Larry Bird has. So yeah, Pat Bev is tripping. For real.
Durant's an amazing scorer, sure. By age 21, he was already leading the league in scoring. By 28, he had 2 finals MVPs and a reputation as the most unguardable player of his era. Keyword, his era. Because Bird was doing things that broke basketball logic before social media or sports science existed. That's why fans brought the left-hand story back when Beverly made his claim. It wasn't nostalgia. It was evidence that Bird didn't need an era to boost him. The era needed him to evolve. So when Pat Bev says KD would have dominated the 1980s, the real question becomes, could KD have done what Bird did in that environment? Because here's the thing. KD's greatness has always existed in controlled environments. Oklahoma City was his lab, Golden State was his cheat code, and Brooklyn was his science experiment gone wrong. His time at Phoenix felt like an unfinished demo. He's always been in systems built for him, not in teams he had to build himself. When Bird walked into Boston in 1979, the Celtics were falling apart, and he rebuilt them. KD's OKC team was young, talented, and all.
Isn't this what I was just saying too? Oh my gosh. I literally just said what he's gonna say right now. Because it's all facts. This is being proven. It's being proven right now. Like he's proving it right now, what I just said. Because I said it, and then this guy's saying it right now. It has to be the truth. Whoever's watching this video, let me know. I know it's the truth, but let me know what your opinion is. Because yes, Kevin Durant has never revived a team ever. If Larry Bird had Westbrook and James Harden on his team, do you know what he would do with that? Are you serious? What? They're beating the Heat. I'm not even lying. They're beating the Heat. The Heat, they were good, but they would have had to get through Larry Bird for sure. They would have had to get through Westbrook for sure. They would have had to get through James Harden because James Harden and Westbrook, they can facilitate. They can both facilitate. And having Larry Bird on the team, he would have made them better. They would have, like, the Houston James Harden UC would have been on that OKC team. The triple double Russell Westbrook would have been on that OKC team if Larry Bird was on that team. Plant Larry Bird on OKC and they're winning championships. A lot of them. They would have been going back and forth with Miami Heat. Stop this, bro. Stop this. He had to go to Golden State to try to win a championship. I said try. He went to Golden State and they were going to win the championship because Golden State was already good. And they put the best scorer in the league on Golden State. You took the easy way out. I'm sorry, man. You took the easy way out. Come on.
Already stacked with future MVPs.
Don't compare the
Bird
two.
didn't join greatness. He created it. While Durant joined it twice, KD benefits from space, pace.
I don't want to take away from KD because KD is a great player, but if you make decisions like that, you can't compare yourself to Larry Bird. It's not even close because Larry Bird took the hard route and he excelled, and that's an understatement. That's an understatement. Like comparing the two is crazy to me. Like based off of skill level. And okay, Larry Bird and Kevin Durant, skill level, yes. Based off of skill level, you can compare. Based off of success, based off of execution, it's not comparable. I don't care. It's not comparable. Nope. Nope.
Safety. No hand checking, no clothesline fouls, and no dudes like Bill Laimbeer trying to decapitate you. He's a master of the modern game, but the modern game is a safe sandbox compared to what Bird played in. Bird's era tested your will before your jumper. KD's era tests your Wi-Fi connection before your shot clock. And mentality-wise, they couldn't be more different. Bird wanted to crush you, not just win. He'd humiliate you, talk trash, and call your plays out mid-possession just to watch you melt. So, don't...
KD just gets buckets. KD is just an official bucket. Like, he just got to go and get a bucket. And there's nothing you can do about it. KD is very good at scoring. It just... He's a team player, but he's not a guy. He's not a number one option where he's taking you to win a championship. He hasn't done that. Like on Golden State, he had one other. He had Stephen Curry, who's also a number one option. So it was like they were going back and forth with that, right? So it's like you had Curry, who was probably the best point guard of all time. Period. Best three-point shooter of all time. Period. Like, we could say you can make an argument that he was better than Kevin Durant, even though Kevin Durant won the Finals MVP. We could say that Stephen Curry is better than him. It's very close. So when you're the best scorer in the league and you have someone that's as good as you or even better than you, to win a championship. Imagine Larry Bird went to a team where someone was as good as him or better than him. Come on now. Like that's how could you even I can't even fathom that. That's not fair. That's not fair. It's not fair. Imagine Larry Bird in his prime going to play with Michael Jordan. Yeah, let's stop this conversation. Pat Beverly is tripping.
Get it twisted. Durant is one of the best in this era, but Bird's presence was foundational. One reshaped basketball, while the other was just another talented player in a modern, easier version of it. So saying KD clears Bird is like comparing an iPhone to the guy who invented electricity.
Yeah.
And that's the thing Pat Bev never understood. Bird wasn't just physically gifted, he was mentally dangerous.
Yep.
Every story about Larry Bird sounds exaggerated until you realize they all come from people who actually played against him.
Yep.
And they all tell the same story. He knew what you were going to do before you even thought about doing it. Take Reggie Miller, for example. Miller once told the story of his rookie season when he made the mistake of trying to talk trash to Bird. Bird looked at him like he had just broken an unspoken rule. Then he told Reggie he was the rookie and that he didn't even deserve to talk to him yet.
He's at the free throw line.
Stop being passed over for promotions. Get what you deserve.
And gamesmanship and talking a little bit. Try to ice the shooter a little bit. You know, I did that once.
So I just reacted to this. I guess I can watch it again, but I just reacted to this in my other video. I think it was the most hilarious trash talk stories ever. Or the most hilarious trash talk story ever. Yeah, I just reacted to this, but we can still watch it. I wanted to really skip, but it's like if you guys haven't watched the other one, you could go to the next one. But yeah, I'll still react to it. It's fine.
Yeah, I kind of did it again, right? So he gets the ball from the official dribblers once. He's like, Reggie, are you freaking kidding me? Reggie, are you kidding me? I'm the best shooter this game has ever seen. You think you're gonna be able to ice me as he's talking? Next one, wah. Damn. I walk to the other side, and Kevin McHale goes, yeah, that was kind of stupid of you to do something like that, right?
Bird proceeded to score effortlessly for the rest of the quarter, then told Reggie to come back when he had earned the right to talk. Then there's Sean Kemp. He was this young, high-flying newbie who thought he could intimidate anybody, but Bird took that personally. During one game, Bird baited Kemp into biting on fakes, out-rebounded him on positioning alone, and dropped buckets without breaking expression.
He just shook his head at me. He said, man, it's going to be a fucked up night for you.
So what did he put up?
I think he gave me, what he gave me? I think he gave me 46 and 3.
And then there's that legendary three-point contest moment.
Who coming in second? Let's take the picture.
Where'd you place?
He beat me. He beat me that day. He beat me.
Okay, I watched all of this. Me skip. Okay, maybe.
Bird talked for control. One's podcasting while the other was programming. Even today's players predicted his success in real time and then executed it. Guys like Magic Johnson, who battled him for nearly a decade, said Bird's biggest weapon wasn't his jumper, it was his mind. Magic would joke that Bird could trash talk you and coach your defensive rotation at the same time.
That boy, he can play, man. He turned it out.
And Bird didn't just talk to his opponents. He talked to their coaches, the bench, the fans, even the broadcasters mid-game. That's where Pat Bev's comparison completely collapses. Beverly talks for attention, Bird talked for control. One's podcasting while the other was programming. Even today's players acknowledge Bird's psychological edge. Paul George once talked of how Larry Bird, who at the time was retired and was now in the front office, walked into a gym, in slacks no less, and calmly drained a three-pointer. Just like that. Technically, Bird's game was almost ahead of its time. His jumper had this high release that was impossible to block, and his footwork was deceptively perfect. It was always squared and always balanced, even when fading. His passing? That's what made him elite. He saw angles nobody else did, and while most players were reacting to defenses, Bird was anticipating them. He had this almost supernatural sense of timing. He knew the exact moment to cut, when to slip a screen, when to thread a pass, and the perfect second to pull up for a shot. He could trick defenders into a false sense of security, make them think they had him figured out, and then completely embarrass them the very next possession with a move they never saw coming. And the intimidation factor was real. Opponents have admitted that Bird's trash talk wasn't just about ego, it got in their heads. He'd call his shots mid-game, and once he hit them, he'd remind you about it until you cracked. Every generation has its legends, but Bird's aura never faded. You can ask players across eras from Jordan to LeBron to Paul Pierce. They all speak about him with the same mix of fear and respect. And the craziest part? He did it with a body that looked more like a math teacher than a modern athlete. That's how powerful his mind was. But if you think it was just mental, you're missing half the story.
Yep.
The 1980s NBA was a battlefield. Every night was physical, unforgiving, and designed to punish the weak-minded and the soft-bodied. Take the rules, for example. In that era, hand-checking was allowed. That means defenders could literally lean on you, push you, and slow you down with their hands while you tried to drive. And it didn't stop there. Illegal defense rules were stricter, meaning teams had to rely on individual matchups more than complicated zone schemes. Driving into traffic wasn't just tough, it could end your night with a bruise or even worse. The game demanded resilience, and Bird thrived here. He didn't have a super athletic body. He had anticipation, IQ, and an ability to navigate chaos. Fast forward to today. KD, Steph, LeBron, they play in a world that's faster, yes, but also engineered for efficiency by default. The defensive 3-second rule.
Yeah, you can't hand check at all. Like you're getting fouled out so quick. Like it's not the same. Even looking at the defense, just watching the defense there, how they were so tight on Bird and how the guy was like pushing up on Bird. Nowadays, that would have been a foul for sure.
Legal hand checking and spacing innovations create open lanes that didn't exist in Bird's day. The rise of the three-point shot changed everything. Nowadays, you don't have to fight through traffic in the paint. Sometimes a deep three from way beyond the arc is enough to decide a game. That's not to say modern players aren't insanely talented, but the challenges they face are just very different from what guys like Bird had to deal with. Talk about the fan culture too. The NBA wasn't plastered across TikTok and Instagram, it was local. Celtics fans knew Bird's story. Pistons fans lived and died with Detroit's toughness. The connection was raw, regional, and authentic. You didn't just watch a team, you experienced it. Compare that to today, the AAU brotherhood model, social media hype, and 24/7's coverage. Players move around, teams prioritize brands first, and the rivalries that used to define beefs are replaced by highlights and hashtags. Sure, the modern game is faster, but something is missing. The grit, the loyalty, and the beefs that didn't make the highlight reel, but defined the NBA. And let's talk preparation. In the 80s, players had gyms, weights, and some basic conditioning. And nutrition? That was mostly whatever your team's cafeteria served. Recovery was ice baths, and maybe a massage if you were lucky. Bird's ability to dominate night after night in that environment speaks to his work ethic and basketball brain. Now, players have personalized trainers, advanced nutrition, sleep monitoring, cryotherapy, full-time analytics, and recovery tech that sounds like NASA designed it. So basically, KD may be talented, but he isn't facing 1980s defense, bruising hand checkers, and rule books designed to slow you down physically. Bird didn't have the spacing, the screens, or the modern tech to rely on. And if you think Bird let the disrespect slide, think again.
There's a reason he talks for a living, because his game never did the talking.
Yeah, he wasn't bluffing. That wasn't ego. That was dominance. You know, classic Bird.
Was that a real video or an AI video of Larry Bird? Let me know, because that didn't look right. That clip did not look right. Are they cheating for this content? Like, that didn't look right. I have to search that interview up, because that didn't look right at all. That looked like AI. Because nowadays, they could put your whole body on camera and have you talking to the camera, and you didn't talk into the camera. That's AI. So yeah, let me know if that was a real clip.
And let's be honest, Beverly's perspective has a certain bitterness. I mean, he wasn't a superstar. He was a role player, a pest, a guy who made life miserable for stars on the floor. He never carried a team or defined an era. His legacy doesn't include MVPs, rings, or generational dominance. And now, he's resorted to saying weird things like this on his podcast, claiming KD is better than Bird, picking fights with legends, and generating controversy just to stay relevant. This is the modern NBA podcaster trap. Beverly is smart enough to know that the algorithm rewards hot takes. Every time he throws a provocative statement out, KD over Bird, LeBron versus MJ, whatever it is, it explodes across social media. But here's the catch, clicks don't equal truth. Beverly is getting attention because he stirs the pot, not because he has the credentials to be involved in a conversation like this. You see this everywhere now with players like Austin Rivers and Kendrick Perkins. There's a trend of role players leveraging platforms to amplify opinions far beyond what their careers earned them. Beverly fits right into this mold, but ultimately, his takes are a substitute for what he couldn't achieve on the floor. Contrast that with Bird. His psychological game didn't need amplification. Bird commanded fear, respect, and attention naturally. Beverly, meanwhile, commands attention only because of the mic and the controversy. And the irony is thick. The effrontery Beverly has to call out Bird, one of the most feared competitors in NBA history, while never having carried a team to an NBA Finals, never having redefined his era, never having been the player everyone prepared for before the first whistle. So every time you hear Beverly or another role player turned podcaster spill a hot take, keep Bird's words in mind. Talking for a living only matters when your game has already done all the talking. And as you'd expect, the old school guys weren't having it. Eddie Johnson jumped in and set it straight. You have zero clue how good Larry Bird was. Jalen Rose weighed in too, in an interview with ESPN. He said KD was talented, but he sided with Bird. His exact words were, "I'm going with Larry Legend at this point in their careers." He also pointed out something fans won't forget. Durant's move to the 73-9 Warriors leaves a permanent mark on how people see his legacy. So here's the takeaway. Larry Bird wasn't just a player. He was a mind, a leader, and a strategist. Someone who earned respect through every game, every possession, and every moment on the court. Pat Beverly might throw out hot takes for clicks, KD might light up the modern stat sheets, but Bird's influence, that's timeless. The contrast couldn't be clearer. Bird's era demanded proof and toughness. And that's why debates like KD clears Bird feel fun online, but sound funny when you actually understand basketball. If you love this video, hit that like button, subscribe for more deep dives into NBA stories, and drop your thoughts in the comments. Who do you really think could match Bird in his prime? Well, apart from MJ?
What happens if my dad starts Tai Chi tomorrow?
Match.
How old is your father?
He is.
Let me answer that. Actually, I'm gonna answer that real quick, and then I'm gonna head out. This is just my opinion. Don't kill me for this, but Michael Jordan, of course. Kobe in his prime. LeBron in his prime is Miami Heat LeBron, and all the things that you hate about LeBron and all the things that you don't like about LeBron, Miami Heat LeBron, when he won his first championship with Miami, all the things that you complain about, he wasn't doing that. Like the stuff where you're like, oh, he's complaining about calls, he's not being aggressive, he's like wishy-washy, like he's relying on other players, like people are saving his career. Nah, he took that championship. Like he was on another level. Like he did that Boston series when he played against Kevin Garnett and them. He was in another stratosphere when it came to his mindset. I would say he had that MJ mindset back then. Like he was just getting straight to the post and he was killer mode because he's 6'9", 250 to 280, and no one can guard him in the post. He should be in the post all day, and he would probably be the most dominant player to ever touch a basketball. LeBron could match Larry Bird in their primes, I believe. Don't kill me for that. I believe. LeBron and Kobe, and that's the only people I know about, to be honest. Like I can't really say Kareem because I didn't watch Kareem in his prime. only MJ is like the only obvious one because MJ is the greatest of all time. LeBron, I watched him. Kobe, I watched him in his prime. So it's like, I don't know who else. Maybe like I could say Wilt, but I don't think so. Like Wilt in his prime, he's dropping like 100 points, but like who is he playing against? You get what I'm saying? Like, could he match Larry Bird? Like, if Larry Bird was planted back then, with Wilt Chamberlain, what would he be doing? Maybe Wilt, maybe Kareem, maybe. But the people I know that would match Larry Bird, Kobe, LeBron, Michael Jordan, and maybe Magic. But I'm gonna stick with those three: Kobe, LeBron, and Michael Jordan. But I'm gonna head out. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm gonna say a quick prayer. In the name of Jesus, I pray whoever's watching this video, bless them from the crown of their heads to the soles of their feet. Allow them to be strong in their mind, body, and soul. Allow them to not give in to the temptations of this world, and allow them to put you first. And allow them to not be thrown off by life. Allow them to praise you when times are bad, when times are good, and when times are all right. When things are just when things are regular. No matter what the situation, if they were to lash out, if they were to have anxiety, allow them to have the discernment to understand where they're at in life right now. If they're at rock bottom, allow them to be uplifted by you and to be reminded with the word, and whoever they have around them, allow them to be good people for them as iron sharpens iron. Allow them to have a good foundation in their life with the people around them, and allow them to be rooted in Christ in everything they do. So in the name of Jesus, I pray, amen. So stay blessed, stay lit, and I'm out.